Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So you start first. I'll be the navigator.
Okay, so do I want to go to the controller, movies
Yep.
controller?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we want to,
So
I'm,
first of all, if you can refactor the each method, weddings.each.
all right.
Yeah, that's what we have right now. It's pretty silly. We can just get rid of the if else block and just have the value as checkbox underscore keys dot include.
Right, so,
So rating underscore hash. Yep. The entire yeah. Yeah, I think that's all we need.
would that work?
Mm,
You try
do,
that in,
do you think it won't work?
I'm not sure because I know in Python, if you try to do an assignment, I mean, Ruby's different though. In Python though, if you tried to do this, it wouldn't work. But I think it would work in Ruby, but just to make sure, maybe we can.
Yeah, we can check the application, but I'm not sure why do you think in Python this kind of things won't work?
In Python, you can't make an assignment inside because you can only have expressions that evaluate.
Oh, okay, I
Uh,
see what you mean. So
yeah,
In Python, it would. I think you were talking about the map method in Python, but for in if it is a each, you can each is just a regular, you know,
yeah,
looping.
block, yeah, so, or enumerable, yeah. So and
Yeah.
you're passing it a block. So I mean, I do agree. I think it should work in Ruby.
Okay. So
Uh, yeah,
this.
so it should be fine. Let's just go ahead and test it.
Okay, it
Oh,
sends to,
did you already do it? Okay.
and if I just remove some of this, yeah, I think we're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And we got rid of, I think, 3 lines.
Yeah, that's a bit more concise. We could probably even just I don't know if you care, but I mean if we put it in one line,
Yeah,
um,
you're right.
it's less than 80 characters, so I think it should be fine.
uh,
Also,
is it
uh,
possible to maybe just combine the line before it where we are assigning an empty dictionary, and is it possible? I'm not sure.
yeah, it is. So we could just do that. Uh,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
But we are also assigning inside it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. That's not gonna work.
Okay, let's
So
keep it like that for now.
yeah,
Also, we can get rid of the assignment in the third line where we are assigning all ratings is equal to ratings. That's not needed anymore.
this one.
The third line in the inside the method where we are assigning ratings to all ratings.
That
Yeah, this one, because we are assigning ratings hash to all ratings later on.
right. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and we also discussed if we can maybe refactor the toggle block where we are
Yeah,
handling the toggle.
yeah.
So I guess we discussed that if toggle is not nil, then we'll just
So
rather
let's do.
the structure we have right now, if we want to have a additional column for sorting, we'll have to
Yeah,
modify this bit of code. But
yeah.
that is not, good in a way that you have to have a lot of code changes for a simple requirement change.
Yeah. So um, I'm gonna just put uh, I want to put a test for whether or not toggle is nil.
Hmm.
But then what?
Then we'll just use the value inside the toggle and use it to pass the symbol in movie.order.
Okay. So movie.order is gonna be
The value inside the toggle.
right. So I'm just gonna say toggle, right?
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I can get rid of this
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
And uh,
And we have to check if toggle is not nil.
so if toggle is not nil,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna
Yeah,
space title selected as highlight, and then I'm gonna call movie order on it. Otherwise,
we
I
are.
want movie
Yeah.
where.
Yeah.
Is that clear, or should I just say if not toggle dot nil, or
I think it's because unless it's just inverted if, I think it's fine.
yeah, okay,
So
because I think sometimes it could get confusing when it's unless and then else. But
uh,
if it's okay with you, we can.
I think it's fine with me.
Okay.
And I think you have a typo,
Oh,
toggle,
where?
unless toggle.
Yes. Toggle.
And I guess we need to assign this to at movies, the
Oh, right.
the result of the block. Yep. Yeah. And then okay, so do you remember the values we were passing to movie.order?
Passing to what?
Movie.order. I think
Oh,
we were
that order.
passing.
It
One
was
was
title
title.
and date.
No, it was release underscore date, I guess.
I think it was just date because that's what we had in
Mm.
the. It was just a string date.
I think it was a symbol. Let Can you do some control Z? Maybe we can check.
Yeah. Yeah, just a string date.
No, inside the movie.order for the else if block when toggle was equal to
Oh,
date.
yes. I see. I see. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
symbol release.
Yeah. So right now we are, the toggle has two values, title and date, but we have to, change one of the date one to release date. So can you move to, uh, Hamel, index.hamel, and if you see the value of the link to for the release date.
The value in link to.
For the release date, it says movies slash date.
Do you want to like click on it?
Sure. Here.
Oh, there it is.
So
Okay.
you have to make it release underscore date. Okay. And just one last thing. Right now, we are passing a symbol release underscore date, but if we use the value inside the toggle variable, it would be a string release underscore date.
Yeah, so that's okay. I think
Mm,
we
can
can
we
we can just convert it to a symbol.
can we check it inside the console?
Yeah, go to the Rails console.
And then I just tried movies dot order and then pass in the string.
Yeah, pass in like string title or string whatever.
Oh, it doesn't work.
Okay, can you try doing that string but then just do dot to
Okay, I
what is
think
it?
something is
Oh,
wrong
it's not.
because symbol it doesn't work also.
Oh,
Because
it should be the
move.
singular, not plural. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it works fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can, just ignore the symbol and just use the variable inside toggle. Can you redo? Maybe. Sorry, you have to
Was that it?
uh, maybe some more.
Oh, yeah.
So movie is equal to unless toggle dot name, and then we do movie dot order toggle. Yeah. So do you think that's what we need? I think that's what we need. Just we have to take care of the highlight thing, but
Yeah.
the sorting thing should work right now.
Otherwise, it looks okay. I just saved it.
Okay, I'll refresh. Okay. Yep, it loaded fine.
All
And
right.
if I click on movie title, it gets sorted. This one also works fine. And just we have to take care of the highlighting thing.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll switch. Then it's been 13 minutes. So
Okay, let's switch. So right now we had two different instance variables, uh, and we were setting them to the
yeah,
string.
title selected and date selected. So you
Yeah,
wanted to make a hash for that, right?
yeah. I think I will go for a hash, and inside the hash I'll use the toggle variable,
Sure.
and I,
Or yeah. Okay.
yep. And in our haml, we'll do the similar changes. So instead of title underscore selected, it would be selected, and then we'll have title.
All right.
But should this be a string or
It can be a string. Is it a string? It's a string in our controller, right? So
like this?
yeah.
So uh, right now, what happens is that if we, let's say, have sorting by rating, we'll just need to make the changes in our haml,
Yeah.
and our controller should be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, maybe we can't do that string thing.
that's okay.
I'm just thinking. Should we convert it to symbols,
Mm,
or is it something else?
uh,
Because, oh, you know why? It's because the Hamel. Um,
I think we have to, interpolate it. So maybe if I, put it inside like this. Okay, I think I messed up something. Sorry.
oh, there's a, or I don't know. I mean,
Here,
do you think that was it?
maybe.
Okay, because yeah, I can't think of why that wouldn't work.
Yeah, almost there.
That's a bit more promising. So,
It says undefined method for nil class. Hmm. Okay. So, our selected um, instance variable is nil because
oh right, yeah,
we didn't do any toggle.
yeah. So we should,
Maybe an empty hash, but
an empty hash, yeah. Uh,
an empty hash would just return nil. Yeah, I think we can make it an empty hash. So I'll just move both the declarations up here. Um, does it look good to you?
yeah, that'll be fine, I think.
Okay. So we wanted to do toggle. Yep. So far so good. Still works.
Okay.
Still works. Still works. Yep.
All right, so I think that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Was there something else we need to do,
Yeah.
or I think we decided that yeah, that's good enough, and we can move on to part 3.
Yep. So I didn't really get time to read part 3.
There's not really much to read. It just all it says is that we have to make the persist the options, the preferences in the session, and so that they don't disappear when we navigate away from the page. The sort, order, and all that, and the rating filter.
You see, over here, the last line of the first paragraph, it says because the URI itself always contains the parameters that will control sorting and filtering. But
Yeah.
in our case, we didn't persist that in the URI.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We could have done that just by using the link to
Hmm.
methods past the parameters and sort and uh, filter according to that. But we need to make it persist anyway for part
Hmm.
3.
Yeah, you're right.
So we could just, instead of using Flash, we could use the session, I guess, since we already. I don't know if that is gonna solve everything.
Okay, so right now our um, toggle, like for sorting logic, we are setting it in Flash.
Yeah.
Uh, let's do a quick switch.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll first, replace the Flash with session.
Okay. Oh, you want me to do that?
Yeah, sure.
No. Okay. Uh, Session.
Yeah, and inside the index method also.
Where's Flash? Oh, there it is.
Hmm. So if we try this out right now, uh, I'll just refresh.
Okay.
And if we sort by movie title,
Yeah.
and then we click on release date, I'm
What
not
just?
sure what kind of sorting is being happening.
It did sort by release date, but it's also preserved the alphabetical somewhat secondary sorting. Looks like.
Yeah.
Or actually,
Did
yeah.
uh, if you see chicken run and chocolate,
Yeah.
so yeah, maybe.
That's yeah.
Okay. But how do we want the CSS to be? Should we highlight both of them?
Does it say to do that in the instructions?
It says we have to remember.
So let's navigate away from the page and then navigate back and see what happens.
o-
Like click on more about, yeah.
Okay. What happened?
Oh, this just went to the index page and it removed all the sorting. Uh,
What's happening?
what was that?
Hmm.
Order, what does it say? I can't really read.
Oh,
First,
maybe I should zoom in a bit.
oh, that's better, yeah. Oh, SQL error.
Okay. So something fishy is going on. Not really sure what.
Movies index. Um, one- so what did you just do in?
I think I'll just clear the session and then try again.
Okay.
Okay. We have all the list. So it should go to movies/1. And if I see the route files, they don't really, do anything special for
Yeah.
that. And is that even,
Yeah, you know what I think is happening is that so it's going to movies index
Mm-hmm.
And in so instead of going via the
It should go to the show method, right? Inside the controller, it
yeah.
should it should go to the show method. And what is the show method doing? Oh, it's just getting the ID, and then it's selecting the movie.id, and it should render the show.haml by default, which is here.
Okay, yeah, so why is that not happening? It's going
Maybe,
to the root instead, right?
yeah,
I mean,
I can check out the,
yeah.
okay. So it's redirecting to the root.
Yeah.
Why is that? Ideally, it should just move to the show method, fetch the movie dot by the ID, and it should render the show dot extension. I don't understand why it's redirecting to the root.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe
I think we can undo some of our changes, the latest changes,
which ones?
and um, I think we just changed Flash to session. I'll move it back to Flash and try again, maybe.
Okay. I don't know if that's gonna fix it, but yeah, we could try. Oh, maybe could be. Yeah.
But it really doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
You're right. Those changes are no way related. Is it somehow that the sorted method is being called, like something falling through from the show method? We are moving into the sorted method, maybe. Yeah,
So
you're right.
let's try.
Yeah. And if we click, at least we have the URL. Yep.
Okay, but we have that template, don't we? So why is it saying template missing? Searched in app views.
Missing template sorted,
Oh, missing template sorted.
but why it's going to the sorted method?
Yeah, because I think by default
I know
it
why it's going to the sorted method, because it matches our route.
yeah, exactly. So Rails does that automatically. Um, well, I mean, it just what it does is it matches the method with the name of the view file. So the name of the method in the controller,
Hmm.
it matches that with the right.
Okay. So I think what you are suggesting is that we change this structure
Yeah.
routes, because if you see this structure movies/1,
Yeah.
it
But that's
exactly matches with what we have for our sorted method. So Rails is getting confused, and it's thinking that we are trying to call our sorted method and not the show method. So maybe if we change the structure for this one, do you think that
mm,
will work?
Okay, well, yeah, let's try. I'm not sure exactly what you have in mind. I mean, I know what you're trying to say. Uh,
So if we just remove or maybe add something sorted, and the same here, so it will not conflict with what we have, the structure we have for show.
yeah, okay, yeah. I think that makes sense.
So I'll do the same here, and I'll also uncomment on the redirect. And if we refresh, yeah, that works.
Cool.
And if we click back to movie list, we are here.
Okay, so let's try now to see if it persists.
Okay, so what we wanted is that the sorting and the checkboxes should both should persist, right?
Yeah.
So I sort by movie title. It's looks fine. Then I go to more info. It looks fine. I go back to movie list. It's still sorted.
Cool.
And
So,
let's try out other things as well. I remove PG-13 and PG. Update the list. Okay. So now our checkboxes thing doesn't work.
yeah, is there something about the path that it was relying on that we broke, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we added that sorted.
But maybe when we have some checkboxes and is sorting also. Um,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
so we have, if you see the if else block
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
right at the bottom, we are doing movie.order and movie.where, but not both.
Yeah, so we can just do the where and then order it.
Yep.
Put the where in and chain that.
Yep. So we can add where over here.
Yeah, I think, I guess it doesn't matter where you put it. Either way, should work, I think.
Like this.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was the navigator and who was the
Uh,
driver.
I think I was the driver, but no worries.
Okay, so that should work.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it still stays sorted, but right, if we remove those, yep, and we go to some detail page, back to movie list. Okay, it doesn't work.
Oh, that didn't persist. Yeah, so
That doesn't persist because for these checkboxes,
yeah, we
for
didn't store that.
uh, really we didn't store that.
Oh, we did. We did. Yeah, session ratings. Oh, uh, huh.
But we should be storing the ratings hash in session, right?
Yeah, we're not storing the ratings hash. We're storing the array, right?
Yeah. Should I
So
just
we,
store it in the session as well?
yeah, sure. I mean,
And
these are like, I guess we're not dealing with a very big database, so I mean, a very big
session.
hash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, I think we are setting rating hash is equal to an empty dictionary.
Yeah.
And so what we can do is we can set it to an empty dictionary if it is nil, or
Yeah. So
read it from session maybe.
sorry.
Yes, but we also want to read it from the session if it's maybe. First, we want to read from the session, and if it's nil, well, said we'll declare it as an empty hash. What do you say?
So session of reading.
Mm,
Is that what were you talking
uh,
about?
okay, and I'm not sure why we what for are we setting over here in session ratings?
In session ratings, I think that's just the here. Why don't we try this? So if I put a, can you refresh the page on the browser?
Okay.
And is it spinning?
Yep. And
Okay,
we
yes.
want.
Go to the terminal
Yep.
and type session ratings or whatever. So I think it's just the array. Oh, it's
It's nil.
nil. Why is it nil?
It's nil because it's nil because we have not selected any checkbox, or maybe unselected any checkbox. So that's why we are, when we are assigning checkbox underscore keys,
Yeah.
we are checking if checkbox is nil. So maybe after that we can have the.
Did that work?
No, 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 no. Sorry. Just keep it as it is.
Good as it is.
Mhm. And um, maybe I'll refresh once again. You have removed the debugger, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is in a session right now.
Yeah.
So it's okay. How do I
So
get
you
out?
have to exit that. Type in exit.
Uh,
Or I mean, if you want to exit.
yeah. Okay. So I'll remove some of the checkboxes. Hit refresh. And now we have this data in our session.
Yeah.
So now we can have the debugger.
You, where should I put it? After this? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See where he's
Okay. And then if I do a refresh, it would keep on spinning, and we should be up. So yep, you're right. We just have a
it's
hash.
the dictionary. So
Yep.
it's the hash. Yeah. Sorry, I was wrong. I thought it was just the array. But it is the hash.
It is the hash, but why are we storing it in session, and why are we not using? I think we can remove it from session, or maybe eventually we want our rating hash to be in session, right?
Yes.
Because rating hash would have the true and false values.
Yeah. So we do need that in the session. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think let's keep the other things as it is, and we'll just go ahead and just store the rating hash inside the session.
Okay. So where should I store that at the end?
After we have calculated, yeah, when where we are assigning the rating hash to all ratings, just after that we can store it in the session.
Session of what should I
Mm,
call it?
you can call it rating because we have something called yeah,
Rating hash,
yeah,
maybe?
rating hash is fine. Rating hash is fine.
I'm not very good with variable names, so I'm gonna
Neither,
call that
neither.
all.
Yeah,
Or, well, I mean,
yeah, you are right.
I guess that's something we can refactor later.
Yeah, but you see, every time we are setting rating hash to an empty dictionary in the first
Yeah.
line, that won't work if we don't read from the session. So we want to have something like, you know, declare it as empty dictionary if it's nil, or if it is not nil, then we will
Yeah.
have some session.
So um, so if
Uh,
uh
Not over here.
oh
In the first line where we are declaring it as an empty hash no matter what.
yeah,
So we want to have something like session.
session should be uh so we only want to make the rating hash empty if the session is
uh,
nil.
we want to assign to the local variable rating hash. Right now we are assigning an empty dictionary to the rating hash,
Yeah.
but what we want is that we want to read from the session, and if it returns nil, we'll set it as an empty dictionary. So I think what we can do is rating underscore hash is equal to session rating underscore hash,
Session
or
rating underscore hash.
an empty dictionary.
Oh yeah.
So if it's nil, it will be false, and the empty dictionary should be truthy, and it should get assigned to the rating hash.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure what we have done, but we can try it out.
Well, should I remove the debugger?
Yes, and I'll exit from the by bug also. Okay. Okay, so remove everything, try it out. Did we kill the server?
I don't know. What does it show in your terminal?
Oh, it's still.
Okay, nice. Okay, it should work now.
Yep. Okay. So I want to clean the session first. Start from an empty plate.
Okay.
Okay. So what should I do?
So we could try filtering
Uh, Filtering,
and then
uh,
just go to
detail,
yeah.
back to movie list. It doesn't work. Hmm. Okay. So I'll be the let's switch, and I'll be the driver.
Okay.
Okay. So we have to see how we are assigning these values. Checked or unchecked in our haml. Uh, we are using all ratings to check or uncheck those variables. And how is all ratings being set?
Mm,
So if it is an empty session, um, this should be nil, and then rating hash would be an empty dictionary.
yeah.
And then we are, what about checkbox underscore keys? And what about rating? Because of what rating hash, it depends on how the rating variable and checkbox underscore keys variable working are working. So
Mm.
I think checkbox underscore keys are the values which, hmm,
So checkbox keys are just the okay. So that's the array.
yeah,
Uh, and checkbox is the hash. Okay,
yeah, and
and it should be you're assigning it to ratings, and if ratings is empty, uh,
I think we can get rid of this line.
yeah.
Hmm. No, I think we can't. This is the set of all values.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah, so we were using this for the default case for the first time when the user didn't select anything. And
Right.
then we were overriding with the help of this line.
Yeah.
Hmm. So I think we can combine this line to make it more clear, like with the help of the tertiary operator or ternary operator. If checkbox is nil, then we want to have ratings, or we want to have checkbox dot keys.
Right.
So we don't get confused later what's happening.
Yeah. That's better.
And I'll just comment out this one, see if our app still works. Nope.
I think it's just a typo.
uh, where?
Checkbox underscore keys. Oh wait, no. uh,
Okay, so I think this is not working fine because it's calling the keys method on
I think there has to be a space here. Try now.
did you change?
Yeah, I saved it.
Nope.
No. Here, what were you
I'll,
gonna say?
I'll just see how it's done in Ruby.
Oh, okay. I think you have to put another. You're using the ternary operator, right?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Hold on 1 second. I just gotta take a call. Hello? Hey, did you get it to work?
Yeah, it worked fine, and I think I found our problem.
Oh, what was it?
You see, the checkbox variable.
Yeah.
We are reading it from params, and then we are storing it in session. But every time we are reading it from params, we are never reading it from session. So I think we want something like
Yeah.
session ratings. Uh, if it is nil, then check for params rating.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so I saved it, and let's do a refresh. I'll get rid of the cookie as well. Okay. So what should I do?
Yeah. Just filter and fresh, and then go to more info.
And then back to movie list. Look at that.
Yeah. Cool.
Whoa.
All right. So I think that's what else is there? There's I think what you did that actually solves also the second part of the hints and caveats,
Mhm.
where it says if a user unchecks all checkboxes. I think that's handled in our thing, right?
Mm, let's try that out. What is the expected result though? If a user unchecks all checkboxes, use the settings stored in session hash, since it doesn't make sense for user to uncheck all the boxes. So basically, there should not be any changes, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And we get back those checkboxes as well.
Yeah. That's expected, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
And
and you see, to be restful, we want to preserve the property that a URI that results in a sorted or filtered view always contains the corresponding sorting and filtering parameters. Therefore, if you find that incoming URI is lacking the right params and you are forced to fill them in from the session, the restful thing is to do is to redirect to the new URI containing the appropriate parameters. There is an important corner case to keep in mind here, though. If the previous action had placed a message in the flash to display after redirect to the movies page, your additional redirect will delete that message and it will never appear. I think we have to change how we are dealing with the sorted method, because they want us to have the sorting logic in the URI. So if I sort by movies, it wants
yeah,
the stuff, the core stuff wants us to have that part of the parameter in the URI.
yeah. So, well, I mean, we can just put it in the
Index method.
I think if you go to the views, well,
I think
so
if you see the controller,
yeah,
we can just remove the logic from sorted method and just put it inside the toggle method.
there's a toggle method.
Oh, sorry, the sorted method, and put it inside the index method. Then in that case, will not have the redirect and
Yeah,
will preserve the parameters.
true. Yeah, yeah. We don't really need that sorted method.
Okay, I'll try that out first. What happens if I just paste it over here? Also, if you see, we are doing the same mistake for toggle. It's that we are storing it in session, but we are never really reading it from session. Oh, I see. We are reading it down here. So I think we can combine this out, these two, like this.
Yeah, sorry. I just
Mhm.
had to.
No
Uh,
problem. So what I did is I just pasted these two lines inside the index method,
right.
and
Yeah.
also had something similar for like we check the session first, and if it's nil, then check the params,
Okay.
and we can get rid of this line. And inside our routes, we'll just call the index method.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how things goes. Let's remove the session as well. Hmm. So if we sort, we see sorted by title. If we sort, then something very bad happens.
Movie sorted. Movie sorted. So this is when you clicked on. Can you check the view?
This is because movies sorted by title is fine, but then when I click on release date, it gets appended this part.
Yeah. Is that happening in the view or
I think
where?
happening in the view here.
Oh, okay. So just put in release. Actually, no. Why is that happening? So in the routes, we sorted toggle.
Um, what happens if we just No. This is working fine for the checkboxes. You see, if I select some checkboxes, here we have,
Something.
we have those data inside our in the URL. And if I also select this one, our URL would just change. So why can't something like that happen with our movie title and release date?
The movie title works, right?
The It doesn't matter if the movie title works. It's like we can't click the other sorting method when one is already selected. So there would always be a problem with the second one. if
Oh.
i if I click release date for,
Oh. Oh, I see. Like sorting vote.
yeah, so maybe I'm wondering if we can do something like
Yeah,
how.
you can use a you can also use a hash.
So
If you say sorted, um, so if you call it sorted and the keys can be title and release date and have Boolean values.
like this.
Yeah,
And this would be strings.
it could be a symbol.
Okay.
The Rails will figure it out automatically.
And title as well.
Yeah, I think they can both be symbols. Should wait.
Okay. So we'll get rid of the cookies. Mhm. Yeah, you were right.
Uh, I don't see what happened.
uh, you see the link that the movie title is pointing to. I, I'll try. uh, the link is slash question mark sorted equal to title.
Okay.
uh, for this same thing. So maybe we can just pull it out inside the index method, the value of the sorted method.
Yeah. Okay.
So rather than calling it from toggle,
Yeah.
we can do sorted, and I'll also rename those other ones. Now if we click movie underscore title, we get the sorting fine, and we also see the URL fine. Now if we click release date, it doesn't work.
Yes, sorry.
You know why? Because Rails, it has automatically picked this value, and it didn't bother to read the params.
Yeah.
So do we want to have both the toggles
Hmm.
at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anywhere in the assignment where it says that they both have to, like, if we, I mean, it makes more sense to me if we just had one sort and it
Yeah,
ignores the other, right?
yeah.
Well, actually, maybe not because yeah, I don't know. Because like if you had a ton of titles that were released on the same day, you still want to sort them alphabetically.
Hmm. So how should we, make this work? We know what the problem is. The problem is that we have a value in the session. So
Why don't you just pull out the value of sorted? So basically, if we make the hash, um, oh, but how would that work with the URI
mm,
if they're both at the same time?
why don't we,
Yeah, we could skip that. I think maybe if the auto grader complains, we can figure it out.
I think it will definitely complain.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because at least even, if we don't have uh, you know multiple sorting at a time, at least
Yeah.
when I click on release date, it should be sorted by release date.
Yeah. No, that definitely should. Oh, that's not happening either.
Yeah, that's because in our controller we just checking the session, and if a session we get some value from session, it's defined, we ignore.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah, so
So
maybe.
yeah, how do you force the or thing to? Oh, yeah. No, how do we? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
mm, um, Maybe our problem would be solved if we can combine these two hashes, or combine these two values somehow.
Which two values? The session sorted and param sorted.
Mm, okay, I think if we just switch them with one another, our problem should be solved. Read the params first, and then if it's not defined, then read the session.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so okay, now if I sort by movie title, it gets sorted. If I sort by release date, it gets sorted as well. But yep.
It's still sorted by movie title, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So then that's good.
this is something like it's acceptable. It's, you can argue about what kind of functionality you want to give to the user, and if the autograder complains about something, we can then check out. But
Yeah, that's
earlier,
what I was
yeah, earlier
thinking.
it
Yeah.
was definitely wrong. It was definitely wrong earlier.
Yeah, it was yeah, yeah.
Now, if I go to some detail page and come back, then this sorting should be stored.
Okay.
Yep, it's still sorted. And go to the movie page. You see, it's still remains sorted. Now, one of the thing that the assignment says is under the hints and caveats paragraph. If you read the third paragraph, it says we want to preserve the property that a URI that results in a sorted filtered view always contains the corresponding sorting filtering parameters. So you know what it means. It means that when we are actually reading the params from the session, after reading it, we should do a redirect to that URL.
Yeah. So currently,
Currently,
well,
we don't have that because we are just reading from the session.
okay, so currently we're just reading from the session, but if so what are we trying to redirect to?
Uh,
The right parameters?
you see this URL, this part.
Yeah.
Now, this is a state, and the state is defined by this param. If I go to some detail page and then back to movie list,
So that's extracting from the session and it's
yes,
not, yeah.
yep, that's the problem as per
Okay.
as part of the assignment. So let's say if I click this one, sorted release date, and I go to a detail page. Now I go to back to movie list. Now this URL doesn't, you know, correspond to this state. Ideally, the assignment want us to redirect to this URL.
Okay, so every time we're going to the index method,
Mm-hmm.
then we can check the parameter first, the parameters,
Mm.
and the I'm just trying to think. Like, I mean, if there's a certain, we could just.
We have to do the same thing for the checkboxes as well, because if I do a refresh, you see the data is over here in the
Yeah.
URL, but then when we navigate away, we still have the state from the session, but the URI doesn't, correspond to this state. So we will need to build out the URL and do a redirect.
So, can we just extract it from the session and just redirect to that at the beginning, at the top of the index, or would that not work?
Um, how would that work the first time?
Yeah, that's not gonna work the first time. Yeah, and
Uh,
I mean that's kind of like that's also not really solving the problem at all
hmm,
because it's still taking it out of the session.
yeah. Uh, the problem is that we really don't, know when we are reading from the session and when we are reading from the params. We just have a OR method, over here at first in the first line, and over here when we are reading the checkboxes. So these are the two lines where we are either reading from the session or from the params, but we don't really have a record if we read from the session or if we read from the params. But nonetheless, even if we have read from the params, if we do a redirect, that won't hurt, right? So do you understand what I mean? So let's say that I have something in my URL, and it
Yeah,
does. You see, it doesn't work.
that didn't work.
Nope. If I check something,
Oh yeah, how about that?
that's
Interesting.
because we
Yeah.
are reading from the session first.
Oh right.
See how many bugs in this toy application.
Yeah, it's a simple app. And
What I feel, I have worked some bit with AngularJS, and
yeah.
very easy compared to doing these things server side. Okay, so if I do a refresh, I filter in, then if I check another, yep, it works fine now. So what I
Okay.
wanted to, okay, so if I go here and then back to mobilist, yep, yeah. So what I meant was, if I have something like this
Okay.
in the URI, and then I do a redirect on the same URI like this, the user won't really know that a redirect happens. So what I want to say is that it doesn't really matter if we have read from the params or if we have read from the session. If we build out the string and do a redirect, no matter if we had the data in params hash or the session,
Hmm.
it would work, I think.
You mean you just want the string to be put there in the URI?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that would take some time. So at least I guess half an hour would be needed, because this is not very trivial. So do you
Yeah.
think you have some time, or maybe you want to do a session later?
I think.
I'm fine. We can take a 1 hour break, or 1 or 2 hour break, or a
Yeah.
half hour break, and then
Yeah.
start a new session.
A half hour break. We'll take a half hour break because if we take an hour break, then I'll be pretty tired.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll stop the broadcast right now.
Okay.